Hold on to that. That's just nasty. Biohazard make you puke. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story.
Mukanne. Saluja. Musa. Mukan bali.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. That's where he bobs. Gulp refuses to move from that barge, despite the fact it makes him burf. Goop's not sure, though, if it's the surf sickness or the radium syrup that causes it. Welcome to the surf archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. The day is getting on. You're poking around Hockbur, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Yeah. Let's see. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to.
Kon du overfutem. Oidam. Slochba.
Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more.
Superangan. Heiaudambab. Kon du overfutem. Oidam.
Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead.
Heiaudambab.
Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew?
Hudade.
Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit.
Meulang.
Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow.
Budrakinangere gamman. Elekik.
Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you.
Kuring. Elekik.
Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own.
Korikflaun.
But who cares about them?
Korikflaun. Duramina geijasa.
Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favorite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all.
Kui multus. Enamigos. Yamanugelen.
Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportional to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up.
Budrakinangere gamman.
Figures the real problem is finding something to drink.
Yegeugen.
He wants you to know he has other interests, too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example.
Duramina geijasa. Seringesia dagetis.
There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help.
Duramina geijasa. Garewanginu. Azadya kunkuringen.
Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax.
Kuring. Ade up. Aufschlag.
Says he's not sure you can. Physically, that is. There's no squeeze in the world able to counteract his expansiveness. Ready to live at your own speed. Good work, Captain. The Quack Hollow. It's just loonly. Need a key. Places up ahead far worse than this. You can make something from that. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Darkness makes you miss the light. Gulp says he'll bibble anything once, as long as it's drinkalicious, even rocket fuel. He once mixed up some tankers and drank that. It was a real lift-off. That leads him to the bottom of that particular bottle. Radium syrup. If only he could find a tanker truck to empty. He's not in a state to go looking, so he's counting on you to help. Go find him a tanker truck and bring back some of that precious radium syrup. Please. Thanks you for understanding how dire his thirst can be.
Come toward the light.
Good on you. Resist.
Resist? That's just a hesitation, nothing more.
Keep telling yourself that.
Ha! Just give me this one thing.
Let's see. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Says you should take it easy. Let's see. Are you sure this Googlide's safe? Tread soft. That's a monster nest, if ever I've seen one. Back to your own power. The oil claimed this land a long time ago. A peak spot is a great place to stand if you want to see things for what they are.
Uppsagda nang?
But hope is
Yok poituja luja.
here due to the surf. On a leash. Point it in the right direction and blast. It's the porky puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down out-of-date's leg. The quacks. Aim that the two big flaming quacks. Wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another world eater. You're halfway there. He's got word Out of Date spotted Lupa Lupin and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it. Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the predator. Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed Lupa Lupin will stay put until you're there. Got word you found the greatest glider of all, an ark. Can't imagine how that would feel. Funny that you found an ark when you don't need to go anywhere in it. The world's still going to be here. Proud of you for thinking about helping before escaping, either way.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Feels thrilled to snag a seat in your ark. Can't wait to glide through the skies. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Understand? Good thing you're not claustrophobic. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Didn't have much help. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupin's camp. Lupin says he's been looking for you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy. Only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. Just so no. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. Just so. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. The night feels dangerous and exciting. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. There's a lot on the line. Let's see. This must be Bionucleus 7H. Better be careful. The contamination here, this area is biocontaminated. It's really, that's a classic radionic. A frequencer box that resonates airwave signals. Back then it was easy listening. Hope it still is. Looks like the radionic controls need just a few moves left. Make them count. Let's hope the beast keeps listening to you. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? Looks like the control box handles need to be wheeled to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. Makes you look smarter. This is locked. That's not opening on its own. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. Wonder got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. The sun is high. Stuck with... Small things for your big ideas. That's a motored blind box dispenser. These auto markets were quite... You shouldn't be surprised if you stumble on more of these. It's an electro panel, a closed... Flick the switches in order to green-light the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. How majestical! This region is known as the Canuckstones. You can't find a harder place in the world. Ah, the Gnote pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see.
Kuri kumbala muma. Kala.
Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again.
Amun. Andro?
She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Vaseno kasaman varut.
Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark.
Masan mal.
But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going.
Tropalo. Masan mal.
Seems reluctant to even say its name. It's become personal to her too, since it's taken so many of her innocent gnotes as prey.
Very? Vere?
Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be.
Kanamunt. Tropalo. Kanyala no doro.
She sees you're back to buck with Lupa Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Apli tonumuta. Kamonu.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Asana yotpa. Polakudo. Kamonu.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like, until it's worn smooth. But you...
Kanamunta. Polakudo.
She wants Lupa Lupin to pay too, even though she strongly believes forgiveness is the strongest revenge.
Now you're getting into the dark groove.
That's not a groove, it's a rut.
And what's wrong with ruts? I love ruts.
Groove, rut, whatever, you can still escape it.
Escape it? No way. Enjoy it.
Inyadaldo. Masamal.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Masamal.
You can't do everything you want, can't go everywhere, can't see everything, only what you can.
Asadurutu. Monibasa.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the gnotes die with it.
Ritsentede. Brumblene marsamambulu.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Pala.
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day. And sometimes
Beri. Ferena masalapu.
they're just so shiny. Makes her smile to think about them.
Beri.
But let's not speak of that now.
Urasa durut.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Anora kapapum. Taifanamenuma. Kanamunta.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Dere.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Dere.
She can't be sure. You'll have to wait and see. This could be the beginning of the end of everything. You found the Majut Meadow. Watch out for the Majut. Vaulted. Oh, yes. Half left. It's shockingly dark out there. That wood scrap seems like it would be perfect for your plans. You always find good use for things like that.
Apli tonumuta. Taifaname numa.
Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned.
Andro?
She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down.
Kanamunta. Pendrene senema.
The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down.
Kanamunta. Pala. Kala.
She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time.
Pala. Kala. Boilakudo.
She figures the choosies from the old world are made from gummy trees, but wouldn't be surprised if they were actually made from some chemical concoction, though.
Minalagi mamuru.
Noko is always willing to help.
Kanyala no toro.
Says...